Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. I wanted to show some of the Venus occulting footage that Richard 205 Maria sent me, along with some other stuff, new equipment, and I will refer you to a site at the end of a person named CD who's shooting some very nice video, high quality of the occultation. And while I didn't ask permission, I will show a screenshot and send you over to that channel. So here we go. Okay, I want to start out by showing this new tool that actually Richard 205 Maria sent me. It's actually a camera. It should be very interesting once I get it up and running here. Hopefully it won't start freezing on the East Coast before I get a chance to set up. This is a really nice camera, and I'll show you some images later. I think Richard sent me a Jupiter image that he took with this camera that I'll show you. Anyhow, up here is the place. So many people ask me about telescopes. There's a 1-800 number at OPT. These guys have helped me out with everything that I've bought. They have a 1-800 number. You can call and ask questions. They mail stuff out. So I figured I'd include this just to let people know. Mostly buying optical equipment is about budget. So if you have questions, the thing to do is call a place like this that has good customer service, ask your questions, state your budget, and go from there. Okay, so here is an image that Richard 205 Maria sent me of Jupiter, the light we call Jupiter, that he took with the camera that he sent me, or the same kind of camera. And this is really a pretty cool thing. You shoot video at a high frame rate, and then you can stack out the best of those images. And so for someone like me who's always looking for holes in the system we've been presented with, this is a great tool to have. And if you notice over to the right, there's a little light right there, one of the moons, we are told. And I'm really excited. The other thing is it has an IR cut filter in the glass, and since I have a full spectrum camera that is both IR and UV, as well as visual, it will be interesting to see what we can produce. Anyhow, let's jump into the Venus occulting footage. This portion of it I am running at 1500 times speed, so it's been speeded up 1500 times. That is the light we call Venus headed towards the lunar disk, and it will be occulted by the lunar disk, we are told. And right as it gets to the edge, I will slow it down to real time, and that is right here. Now we are going in real time, and I've zoomed in. What's interesting about this, while we didn't get a lot of chance to shoot from a lot of places, I heard from San Diego, Houston, Northern California, up in the northern part of the United States, all over New England, Virginia, and many other places, that chemtrails just blocked the day, which is a bit vexing because I had crystal clear 5 days up to this particular day, and then I saw a fleet of chemplanes that I have never seen here before, so many in fact that I just quit counting. But I have presented starlight being occulted, and while that blinks out pretty much all at once, you'll notice this happens more gradually. It's a real shame that I couldn't get my full spectrum camera on this, because what I wanted to do was get the full spectrum camera on this while it was behind what we call the lunar disk. Everything I have seen to date, and the best that I have seen so far, I will present at the end. It's from a channel called CD, and I'll steer you over to see some really sharp footage, some great footage. Richard shot with 3 cameras. Oh, and by the way, I should mention that the Jupiter footage that I showed you was shot with a scope that's quite a bit smaller than mine, according to Richard. But here goes the little light is blinking out now, and it gradually happens. I'm just so bummed that I couldn't get my my 11-inch scope on this with a full spectrum camera. Anyhow, we're going to take another view that is lit a little more, and I had to zoom the footage in because these files are so big. You can notice that there's compression, and again, we're running at 1500 times speed here, and as it gets right to the edge of the disk, we'll go to real speed, and that's right here. We're now running in real time. So I had to really stretch this video to fill the frame, and some of these videos were just so big, I think 80 gigs and bigger on some of these files, that it's just a hassle for Richard to try to send them over to me. So we're really kind of encoding them at a smaller size, and you can see all the compression artifacts. But again, this is another view from Richard. I think he told me he had 3 cameras on it, and we'll watch it gradually go out, and then we'll follow on with the footage from CD. And the footage you'll see there is maybe a little bit more reminiscent of how I shoot. But here we go, gradually going out. And we are going to have another occultation of a very bright star called Aldebaran. I don't remember if that's in January or December, but I'll be covering it. And there the light is blinking out. Okay, I also wanted to show you this footage from channel CD. You can see right here, you'll know you're on the channel. They've got the moons across the header. And I just want to show you, I didn't ask permission to run this, so I'm just going to show you the still. This is Venus here. Here's the moon. It's really quality footage. Well done, CD. So you might want to head over to this channel and check that out. Okay, so in closing, as I have been announcing, I will be launching my own podcast to get away from YouTube censorship, and also to have more of a meaningful conversation away from the kind of troll atmosphere that predominates on YouTube. So the conversation that I have on my site, I will be more accessible to the people who join me there, and we will be free of people who aren't there for a serious conversation or who want to belittle or start trouble, which is basically most of what we see on YouTube at this point. Also, I will be serving my own video there. So while I still will run YouTube videos, most of the important information that I cover and the video that I show will be on my podcast website. So I hope you guys will join me there. I was going to launch in December, but it looks like January may be a better bet.